This report says that 1 in 3 Australians in residential aged care have substandard facilities. It says that 13 to 18% of people in aged care have been assaulted, and it says the current aged care system and its weak and ineffective regulatory arrangements did not arise by accident. The move to ritualistic regulation was a natural consequence of the government's desire to restrain expenditure in aged care. In essence, having not provided enough funding for good quality care, the regulatory arrangements could only pay lip service to the requirement that the care that was provided was of high quality. Now, you've been Prime Minister and Treasurer for 5 years or so. Do you agree this is a national disgrace, and do you accept any share of responsibility over that?
Of course I do, Andrew. I've been Prime Minister for over 2 years, and prior to that I was Treasurer for 3. I've been in this cabinet since we were first elected. And so our government will take our share of the responsibility, like all governments over the last 25 to 30 years, which is what the Royal Commission, that very quote that you've just referred to, was referring to governments over the last 25 years. That has been the prism, the framework in which our aged care sector has been funded and run. And while as well-intentioned as everybody who may have served in governments, in cabinets or in policy advice systems or run health aged care facilities or provided support in whatever way they could, despite those best intentions, those are the outcomes, Andrew. That's why I asked the question, because I could not get the assurance that the answer would be any different to that. And so I honestly asked the question. You now have the answer. I now have the answer. And the roadmap that it sets out to dealing with that fundamentally seeks a shift from a constrained system that focuses on funding to providers to a needs-based system that puts the person at the centre. That is the change.
Well,
no government has done that. No government has done that in the last 30 years. And that is what the Royal Commission has found. And as a result, it requires some very significant change to how these arrangements are put in place. Everything from governments and data and standards to training, to the resource that is made available and how we support that within our community. This is a challenge to all of us. So, yes, the findings of this Commission work is as shocking as I feared it would be and frankly expected it to be. But knowing that, I still called it, and knowing that, I'm standing here before you today saying we propose to deal with it. Now, that's going to be a difficult task because over my time, we've increased funding from $13 billion to $24 billion. In my own time as Prime Minister, over $5 billion of extra funding into home care. In the time of our government, everything from charters of rights to aged care quality standards and commissioners and cops on the beat and specialist service outreach, and all of these things have been done. Yet still, these outcomes are still not being achieved.
How much